Okay, we're going to kick off with a company from Spain. They are called Color Sensing, and they help food manufacturers and retailers cut down waste thanks to a digital, multi-parametric, and cost-effective smart label. Ladies and gents, please give a huge round of applause for our first pitcher. She is the CEO. Please welcome Maria Eugenia Martin Hidalgo.
Packaged food manufacturers have two main concerns. One is profitability, the other one, food safety. They are responsible for their products along the whole supply chain. In-house, they run really expensive and destructive quality controls. But once the product is out of the factory, they go blind. They cannot check neither the cold chain nor the real freshness of the product. When the expiry date is close, the retailer applies discount on the price or makes the manufacturer pay for the unsold and expired products. So, can you imagine a solution that could save at the same time on quality control and on product recalls? In Color Sensing, we have created a smart label for packaged foods. It's a QR code hiding color-changing inks. Inks working as sensors that give us key information on food safety, information that we use to check the packaging quality, the cold chain, and the freshness of the product. How? Just taking a simple picture with any kind of camera. Our algorithms transform colors into data, anytime, anywhere. OK. So what can we measure? You name it, from packaging or spoilage gases to temperature or other parameters. With this solution, manufacturers will increase their profitability 15%, and we will take 20% of that as an annual fee. Only for the meat industry, this problem means more than 6 billion euros every year, but we are also targeting fish and ready meal providers. Do we have competition? Yes, we do. But they either use high-cost technology or a color-changing ink. Like us? Yes and no. They only detect one parameter. We are multi-parametric. They don't provide digital data. We do. We track. And they confuse the consumer with the colors. We don't. We give them information. As the CEO of the company, I have raised more than 800K of non-equity funds, and Daniel, the CSO, brings the science and the laboratory. So far, we have a patent, 2 inks and the mobile app, prototype tests with tech centers, and letters of interest from manufacturers and retailers. In fact, this year we already ran pilots with 2 of them. We are also working with key packaging companies that will print and prescribe the labels. Our next steps for our MVP are industrial prototyping, food contact certification, and running pilot tests with manufacturers. For that, we need 500K. Thank you.
That's a good finish. Thank you so much, Maria. Fantastic. Absolutely brilliant. As you can see there, the time does go quickly. You know, it really does. It's very difficult being up here. You did a fantastic job. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, are there any questions? You can see they're tapping their notes. They're digesting all of that brilliant information that Maria just shared. Any questions? We have 2 questions. Going once, going twice. Any questions? No, you answered all the questions in the presentation. A round of applause for Maria. Thank you. Muy bien. Okay, so sometimes you see the presenters actually answer all the questions. There are no more questions. That's a sign of a very thorough presentation, but also you'll get a taste for the judges' expertise when they start to kind of look in and dig under the hood there. It's really fascinating to see this process. It's absolutely wonderful. Okay, now we are going to move to one of my favorite countries in the world, Sweden, because my wife is from Sweden, but we do live in Spain. We're very delighted to be here. From Sweden, Disruptive is a deep tech startup specialized in implantable microelectronics and creators of B-Uno. So this is a platform for sensor-equipped chip implants that enables body-to-cloud communication. I'm fascinated. Ladies and gents, please welcome to the stage the co-founder of Disruptive, Juanjo Tara. Thank you. Big round of applause. Muy bien.
So in 2019, we believe that the smartphone and the wearables are not the final step. So we decided to design the first implantable microelectronic device. This device has been used for many applications. As you can see here, what is an implantable NFC device where you can use it for many applications, like enter in the gym, pay in the bank, or even bring your train tickets in Sweden. We have already 5,000 users using this every day, but this is not enough, right? We wanted to go a bit further, so we have developed a platform called Body2Cloud, where putting sensors in our implantable device, we can manage to achieve amazing things. This is the real Body2Cloud infrastructure, where we have a machine learning system to predict different patterns in your body. The last one we are doing now is with temperature sensor. So our implantable devices now have a temperature sensor inside of the implant, where we can track how your temperature is moving. We discovered that this temperature is different for each of us. So we can do personalized health recommendation for each of you. The latest one we discovered is that just with the temperature, we can understand how the ovulation cycle for woman is. So just with our implant and tracking your temperature sensor, we can tell you in which part of the cycle you are. For that, we have been open a beta tester program where in just 2 weeks, we got 300 women to test our devices, and of course, they are paying for this. So in this moment, apart from all the application for entering in the house, go to the office, bring your tickets, trains, now with sensoring, we can start to discover how all the health is for each of us. Therefore, what we want to look for is to increase the amazing thing we have. We have PhD from Oxford. We have a Nordic health group supporting us to understand how all this process is. So in this next step, we are going to do another clinical trial where we can produce a study to define how accurate is our sensor for measuring the ovulation cycles. And that's why we are right now finalizing a round A bridge in order to accelerate our development. Thank you.
Wonderful. Muchísimas gracias, Juanjo. You see, he was straight out of the gate there. Immediately when the timer went, he was on. Okay, we have some time for questions from our VIP audience. Juries, could you introduce yourself to the room? Thank you.
Charles Sidney, Hoxton Ventures. Can you talk about how many people are willing to be injected? How many people are willing to be injected with this device? I mean, I understand that you've sort of injected into a number of people, but how big is that market? Does it hurt? I mean, you didn't really talk about that.
So right now we have the way of implantation is like a piercing. It's an injector. So you go to any body shop, a store.
It's like a prison.
Sorry?
It's like a what?
Can you repeat the question because I couldn't hear?
Oh, okay. I see.
It's just the microphone.
Oh, the microphone is.
Keep going. Keep going.
Keep going.
Okay. Yes, I didn't understand the question.
I think we missed the question. Could you say the question again?
Yeah, no, the question was how many people are willing to be injected?
How many people
are willing?
Yeah,
great
you didn't
question.
really speak about the size of the
amazing.
market.
So I'm surprised every day the amount of email we got every day to do our implantation. We have already 5,000 people from the first beta program in Sweden, and now we are releasing a 300 beta program as well for the temperature sensor, and we finalize all this process in 1 week. So there is a bunch of people interested in using our implantable device, early adopter or a specific application.
Okay. Yeah, it's really interesting. I think you need to speak more about that in the pitch.
Thank you. Absolutely. I feel there's going to be some conversations happening after the pitch. And your good self, if you could introduce yourself to our audience.
Hello, I'm Gianluca Dettori from Primo Ventures. So I wanted to ask you the compliance, the regulatory compliance of this device, what kind of a medical device it is, and what kind of FDA approval or whatever you need to get.
Yeah, perfect. So right now we have done a clinical trial in Karolinska Institute in Sweden. We are doing the biological evaluation to certify our device as implantable device, but no medical device. So we have in our, yes? I know. We have spent a lot of money in trying to figure out how to make this happen. So yes.
Okay, fantastic. We only have 2 questions from the jury. I beg your pardon. Folks,
Thank
please
you.
give a big round of applause for Juanjo. That was great. Muy bien. Okay, you see the time flies, both for the pitchers and for the jury. Time just goes like this. When it's up here, the clock is ticking down. You can see it on the stage. You know, the pressure is on, so everyone is doing a great job. Speaking of which, we are going to now move on to our next fantastic pitcher. This company is from Spain. They're called Hamelin, and this is the fast, easy, hassle-free way to sell your unwanted items, starting with books. Ladies and gents, please give a big round of applause to the co-founder of Hamelin, Valentin Izquierdo.
Thank you, Nate. Thanks. Whoa. Hello, everyone. Thanks very much for having me here. My name is Valentin, and I'm the co-founder of Hamelin. We all know how easy it is to buy something online today. However, when it comes to selling your own stuff, your unwanted books, clothes, electronics, or any other item, the process is much of a pain. It's just too much hassle. We need to rely on platforms, normally peer-to-peer platforms, where we need to get in touch with the people and chat with them and meet physically. It's just too much pain. We are here to fix that. Starting with one single product category, which is books, we make the selling process very simple. You just get into our site. We provide a fixed valuation for the books that you want to sell to us, and so that you know in advance how much you're going to get paid for all of them. We provide the logistics for it. That means that we pick them up for free, and once they arrive at our premises, we pay you for them. That's almost instant cash into your bank account. We then process and refurbish all those products in our processing center, and then we sell them to the main marketplaces, international marketplaces such as Amazon or eBay, and also through our own online store. We're only 16 months old, but traction since we started has been phenomenal. We've grown our sales at a constant 35% rate every single quarter. In addition to that, we've sent orders to over 50 different countries. We've grown the team from 2 people in January last year to over 20 people as of today, and we fulfilled over 50,000 orders to customers all over the world. But Hamelin was not created to be an online second-hand bookstore. We will become the world's largest pre-owned and refurbished online store. In order to do that, we'll be adding many other product categories to our instant price app, so customers can sell everything they want in a fast, easy, and hassle-free way. But you know, there is something we feel especially proud of. Due to the positive impact of our business model, the more we grow, the more we sell, the more customers we serve, the better for our planet. We are a mission-driven team of 2 co-founders, 20 people, and we are backed by 3 top national VC firms such as Caviedes & Partners, ITNIC Fund, and Angels Capital here today with us. Hamelin is on a mission to make the circular economy a reality. Who wants to join us? Thank you.
Muy bien.
All right.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Absolutely. What a great pitch, making a circular economy a reality. Okay, do we have any questions from our VIP judges? Yes, we have. The 2 questions are gone already. Okay, you snooze, you lose. Your good self, if you could introduce yourself to the audience, thank you.
So I'm Diego from APX and Ventures in Berlin.
Speak louder, please.
A bit louder with this microphone,
Yep.
please.
Yeah,
Thank you.
sorry.
No,
So I have
sound
one question regarding the quality assurance, right? So I can imagine that during the buying process, and you need to kind of certify that the product is actually in a good quality, right?
Exactly.
And this will get much harder, and once you can, and target different verticals with different products, right?
Yeah.
So I'm wondering what type, if you have any kind of technology that can, support you in this process, or is this is done very manually? And what is can you elaborate a bit more on that?
Yeah, I mean, right now, every single product goes to the warehouse people hands, obviously. We've got 4 in the books category. We've got 4 different state of conditions, physical conditions of the product, but obviously we cannot filter that before the customer sends out the product because it's not easy. Obviously, we're not seeing, but we don't pay them until we check the product. So, I mean, obviously, every single product vertical has its difficulties, but we'll, with technology, I think we will improve it a lot.
Thanks.
Okay, great question. We have that gentleman had his hand up first. I'm so sorry. You come in on the next one. Thank you. Sorry, this could be. If you could introduce yourself to the room, thank you.
Sure. Hi, this is Robert Novak from All Iron Ventures.
Nice to meet you.
So I have a similar question, a very similar question actually to my previous colleague, basically relating to also like inventory, right? And like whether how you make sure that you can actually sell all, let's say, your inventory. To make sure, for example, if you're moving from books to fashion and so on, there's a chance that you might sit on unsold inventory and unsold stock, and how are you making sure that you can sell it in a quick time frame?
That's key. I would say that's key to our model. That's where technology takes place. I mean, we cannot filter by physical condition, but we can know, because the customer at home, they're labeling the product that they're sending us. That's completely different from the normal like business model in which they send everything. You open the box at the warehouse and you don't know what's inside. They're labeling us the product so that we know exactly if we want that product or not. We can tell the customer with our app that in that moment we cannot buy that product. He might give it a try in the afternoon. We might have sold 1 unit that we've got in our inventory, so we buy that one right now. So that way, 90%, we've got 200,000 references in stock right now, and 90% of them, we've got just 1 unit. So we don't overstock ourselves with any product.
Fantastic, great questions, strong answers. Give it up for Valentin Izquierdo from Hamelin. Thank you. Fantastic, what a strong start already, but the pace does not stop. We're going to move immediately on to another amazing company from Spain. They are a marketplace that connects restaurants with producers to buy fresh products directly from producers without any intermediaries. They talk about farm to plate. This sounds like an amazing version of this. Ladies and gentlemen, representing our best market, please give a warm welcome to the CEO, Alvaro Perez Redondo. Nice.
Hi all, my name is Alvaro Perez. I'm the CEO and one of the co-founders of Harvest Market, which is a marketplace that connects restaurants with small farmers to buy fresh products straight from the farmers without any intermediary part. So what we do on a daily basis is to eliminate all the intermediaries from the traditional supply chain, and we make it possible thanks to the technology, because we gather both sides of the supply chain into one single digital place, but also we coordinate all the logistics from the origin to a restaurant's door. Regarding our value proposition, on the demand side, we allow restaurants to save cost by 20 and 30% as we eliminate all the commission from the intermediaries, but also we give them fresher products because the products are coming straight from the farm to the restaurant, and we give them traceability about the product origin and stability on prices and quality. On the supply side, which is the farmer side, we give them the capacity to set up their own prices so they maximize their revenue up to 50%, but also that's how we make sure that they get fair prices and they will get liquidity as they receive the payment at the same day that they deliver the product. Regarding our business model, it's pure transactional. We take the 40% of each transaction that is made on the platform, and with that commission, we pay logistics that now, as we externalize the supply chain, is representing the 20% of the whole transaction. In terms of traction, we launched Harvest Market in September 2020. Just remember, second wave of COVID-19, and during the first 20 months, we have got 1.2 million euros as GMV. Now, this month or last month, we are making 170k euros on a monthly basis, and we expect or to plan close 2022 with 2 million euros as GMV. And other KPIs, we already have more than 950 clients between Madrid and Barcelona. The 50% of them are still active clients and are spending more than 400 euros per month. And as you know, we launched Harvest Market selling fruits and vegetables, but now that we already have all the clients, we are expanding the product categories such as meat, fish, dairy products, eggs, and everything that a restaurant can need in order to maximize the average revenue per user. And finally, we are raising 4 million in order to keep increasing the penetration in Spain, in Madrid and Barcelona, but also to launch in other countries such as Portugal and Italy. We plan to expand the business in Lisbon, Rome, and Milan, but always following the same ambition and the same mission, which is creating a new supply chain, more sustainable, more transparent, and more efficient. Thank you.
Whoa, fantastic. Oh, save question. Fantastic. Okay, I absolutely love it. Farm to restaurant. But who has a question from the jury? That was a very thorough presentation. Yes, young lady at front, if you wouldn't mind introducing yourself to the room. Thank you.
Hi, Selma from 360 Capital. I just had a question on the logistics and how it works exactly. And in terms of margin, how does it work for you? Because I imagine that you have to internalize some part of the logistics, so it means margins that might be lower.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, depending on the product category, the supply chain is different, but focusing on the fruit and veggies supply chain, we just work with origin hubs that we externalize all of them. So the restaurant is making the orders through the website at 1 p.m. At 1 p.m., I will send a communication to all the farmers in order to go to a farm, collect the product, and prepare the product, and go to the origin hub in order to deliver the product. So at the origin hub, we collect the product, which is externalized for sure. They collect the product, do like a visual check, put the tag, and prepare like the pallet in order to go to send the pallet with all the products from that specific origin to a destination. So here in Madrid or Barcelona, we gather all the pallets of products from different origins, and the picking team is already internalized that part of the phase of the distribution. So the picking team is preparing all the package for each restaurant, because a restaurant can have different references from different locations, and just prepare like the package for each restaurant in order to be delivered by another supplier, which is the last mile supplier, which is externalized in order to deliver at the restaurant. So a product that has been collected at 5 p.m. in the day before in the north of Spain or in the south, we have that product delivered in the same or in the following morning in Madrid or Barcelona.
And so in terms of margin, what does it look like?
Yeah, the logistics now is representing the 20% of the whole transaction, which means that we have a 20% of net revenue at the moment. But obviously the logistics costs are keeping to decrease over by month in order to, or based on economies of scale in terms of logistics.
Fantastic. Two great questions there. Thank you so much. A big round of applause for Álvaro Pérez Redondo from Harvest Market. Thank you. Wonderful. What a strong start. Can you believe we're almost halfway through already? This just flies by, and we have another fantastic startup from Spain who's going to take to the stage right now. Instant is the data e-wallet that protects your information and helps you securely share it with businesses and people instantly. Please welcome to the stage the founder and CEO of Instant, Andres Ramirez Sierra.
Thank you. Hi, how are you? My name is Andres. I'm the founder of Instant. You might agree with me that time is money, but so is data. We constantly have many transactions involving our personal data, whether it's for applying for a product or service, or when you go to your doctor and you hand your medical records, or even sending an email. The problem with that is that the amount of information we're sharing right now is way too big and way too poorly controlled. Even for companies, it's a big deal because having efficient process for onboarding or for ID or processing all this personal data is quite costly and efficient. That's why we came up with this solution, which combines a wallet for your data, so you'll be able to store your data, personal data, financial information, health information, whatever it is, securely, of course. And we also provide companies the technology to process all that data. Very similar to using your credit card, and you have terminals, same thing. But then it's going to be extremely easy to use and share your data with different type of companies. The important thing here is that, well, these are examples here. For instance, when you go to your doctor and you say, well, I want to share my medical record, my medical history, and it's just going to be shared easily, and they'll be able to have to access that. Or let's say you keep forgetting passwords, and then you just want access to whatever website that has our technology, you'll be able to access that as well. So that it has the same technology, several uses. But for companies, it's also quite powerful as well. You'll be able to, as a company, multiple purposes for ID validation or creating new flows. For instance, we have banks that can deploy a full onboarding process in 20 minutes. But that's also cross-industry, like different industries, not only financial, but commerce and health. And we're right in the middle between data wallets and onboarding processes. It's a huge market. We have over 100 billion transactions in that represents over $378 billion in transactions. And the business model is very simple. The way we make money is we charge per transaction processed, and for users it's free. We've been growing continually, not only in sales, but also in users, with over 200% exponential growth every year, and also with users, expecting to close over 130,000 users this year. But best of all, we're profitable with exponential growth, and so far we haven't needed any external investment so far. Our growing network, of course, over 19 large corporations right now that represent over 3.5 million users base that we can tackle and continue growing from there. And right now we've proved that it's market fit, it is profitable, and now we just need to scale it. And we're scaling now in Portugal and Spain as well, and so is Mexico, and well, the team. You didn't need to cut it.
Amazing. A big round of applause. Fantastic for Instant. Good stuff. You can see how much quality information is being conveyed by those slides. A lot of information being conveyed digitally, visually. So our VIP judges. Yes, we have a question from our good friend here. If you could introduce yourself again for the folks watching at home.
Yeah, thanks very much, Gianluca from Primo Ventures Milano. So how does it actually work? Can you tell us about the mechanics of this? Is there an authentication system? What do you need to, there's a client, there is another, the company needs to have a reader. And how complicated it is to adopt this technology?
All right, for users, it's very simple because it's just an app that you have either a QR or someone can send you a request to your mobile number. So it is, it's linked to your mobile number. So that's going to be very easy. For companies, it is very easy to deploy flows. We already have several templates that they can deploy. And as I said, it works very similar to Visa. So we're giving you the wallet as if I'm giving you the credit card. And then on the company side, we're giving you the terminal, terminal that will enable to connect both of those. And we're right in the middle processing all the data. We're like the Visa, but instead of payments for personal information. That's what we are.
Right, but but how do you, this data is so sensitive and so sensible. I mean, we've been involved in a company doing passwordless authentication. Okay, so it's very delicate and complicated. How do you ensure the security of the data? Because, if someone steals my wallet, they have everything. They have access to everything, right?
Correct.
It's the phone becomes the key to all my data.
Correct. So we have, of course, several ways so you can access your data. But right now, we're complying with banking standards. So right now, information is encrypted. The transmitting information is encrypted as well. And it is treated as money. Same thing with your bank account. Exactly the same. We're treating data as money.
Okay, data's the new money. Those were two questions from Gianluca. Grazie mille. I come to you first next time if you put your hand up. Ladies and gents, please give a big round of applause to Andres Ramirez Sierra. Wonderful. Grazie. Gracias. Gracias. Okay, I'm getting all my languages mixed up. I speak less than one. So we are going to move on to our next fabulous pitcher who joins us all the way from the US of A. The company name is Catch with a K, and Catch is an engagement layer for an antiquated backend that will not go away. The calendar. Ladies and gents, please welcome the CTO of Catch to the stage, Tomas Perez.
Hi everyone, thank you so much. At Catch, we are trying to solve a complex yet simple problem. Okay, we're having a problem with the slides. They're not working. Anyway, I can skip them. So at Catch, we are trying to solve a very simple but complex problem at the same time, which is taking control of our time. Have you ever get overwhelmed by looking at your calendar? Do you sometimes feel that you are not taking control of your time? For that, the thing is that traditional ways of managing people's time and communication are flawed and antiquated. The thing is that there is no way of representing and finding out about users' availability just relying on an artificial and fixed schedule, just like a calendar. Instead, we need to rely on other things that are not present for calendars, like, for instance, our energy levels and priorities. What we have done at Catch is implementing a mobile technology that is able to determine accurately users' availability. With this, we can offer people suggestions about when is the right time to connect for having a given conversation. This way, meetings happen when they need to happen. Meetings then are relevant, focused, and with clear and actionable goals. And the meetings will happen within the app. The way it works, users will be connecting the different data sources into the mobile app, like calendars and other data sources, like mobile sensors, that we're going to be using to determine real users' availability. Those are what we're going to be using to know and let them know when is the right time for having a conversation. We can, for instance, determine accurately whether the user is having their daily morning exercise routine, they are commuting, driving, or they are in a different call. Of course, the users can also customize their availability preferences. And finally, putting all this together is when we can offer suggestions that get better the more time the user uses the app. For users' point of view, the process is very intuitive and smooth. Basically, the concept of a catch request, where a user will be sending a topic request to another. If the recipient is interested, they will be accepting that request. And then Catch will find the right time for having this meeting or communication. Of course, they don't need to wait only for Catch to let them know when can this meeting happen. Also, we are able to, as a user, to initiate the call as long as the other user is available. The team of Catch is still a small team. We are less than 10 people. We have been we have less than 1 year of life, although during this period we have been able to release into the Apple Store an iPhone version of this mobile app that we are encouraging everyone to test. Of course, as employees at Catch, we are one of the first users of the app, and we are definitely getting the benefit of using it by improving with this tool or meetings and getting a much better workflow. Thank you so much.
Fantastic, Thomas. Absolutely brilliant. And did you see there the slides were stuck? It did not throw him off his course, and he nailed that, absolutely nailed that, bang on time to the second. Okay, thank you so much. Do we have any questions from our VIP judges in the front row? Maybe that presentation. Yes, from the gentleman at the end. If you could introduce yourself, thank you.
Hi, Jorge Martinez Arroyo from Panoramix Ventures. How does Catch get integrated with the other channels that users have, like WhatsApp, mail, and so on?
So we are at the moment only integrating with calendars and mobile sensors, but we plan to integrate with other external sources. The call engine happens within the mobile app itself, but eventually we'll be able to incorporate other channels for having the communication.
Great question. Any more questions? No, I believe the answer is no. We have no more questions. Once again, please, a big round of applause for Tomas Perez from Catch. Yes, fantastic. Okay, would you believe it? We've actually reached the final three. We've been flying through this. Our judges have been tapping away on their iPads, sending their marks to the South Summit mothership, and all will be revealed. We are going to find a winner for this category and a winner for all 5 categories in the South Summit Startup Competition. Okay, on this very special 10th anniversary year, now we are going to move on to a country that knows very much about food, alongside Spain. Ireland not so much, but La Belle France, they certainly know about their food there. SIGA is a company from France that is a food scoring system that helps food companies craft healthy recipes. Yes, please. Ladies and gents, please give a very warm welcome to the CEO and founder of SIGA, Aris Christodoulou.
Hi, my name is Aris, and I'm the CEO and founder of SIGA. SIGA helps food companies to switch away from ultra-processed food. Ultra-processed food are not obtained through simple thermical or mechanical processes. In ultra-processed food, you will find some chemical ingredients, ultra-processed ingredients. You should know that most of these ingredients are not additives. Ultra-processed food represents a large proportion of what is offered in supermarkets. And you should know that if you eat more than 4 ultra-processed food per day, you raise your risk of mortality by 62%. These foods are very bad for your health. There are new expectations from the consumers. In France, it became the second purchasing criteria. I just read a Spanish study in which had been found that getting more transparency on ingredient lists is the first criteria for Spanish consumers. SIGA is on a mission to make food healthy again by helping food industry to reduce ultra-processing. So we built a classification from raw food to ultra-processed food. In the middle, you will find the processed food, which are obtained by the addition of culinary ingredients. For any ultra-processed food, there is a healthier, real food in front of you should pick it. This science has been published in top journals, and it allows you to understand that many foods that are marketed as healthy to you are not because they are ultra-processed. More, there are some scores which highlight as healthy ultra-processed food and which stigmatize real food. Our business model is B2B. We help the food industry. We assess their food offering down to the composition. We help them to substitute penalized ingredients, and we help them to label it directly on the packaging. There is technology underlying our services. We built a scoring engine, a dynamic scientific database, and there is a SaaS platform that manufacturers and retailers can access to fill the information of their products and get some analysis back. There is also an app for the consumers. Since the incorporation, we've been working with more than 50+ clients, from little to top brands. Among them, the largest French organic retailer, which declared that there won't be no more SIGA 7 score within their assortments. Since the incorporation, we made near €1 million. We expect this year in revenue, we expect this year to do $500,000. Our application just reached 300,000 downloads. All this work has been done with scientists and professionals of nutrition. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Absolutely fantastic. Merci beaucoup. That was great. Okay, healthier food. Who doesn't want healthier food? But what do our judges think? And well, absolutely, you two have the questions on this one. So starting with yourself. Thank you. If you could introduce yourself.
Yeah, so this is Diego from APX. I have one question regarding the consumers, because in the end, I want to understand a bit better how do you take into account consumer preferences when it comes to food, especially when it comes to taste, right? Because it's very B2B, for what I understood, and you help companies to also decrease, like the processing of the food. But I want to understand how this actually affects the consumers that want, for example, a better quality or better taste or whatever, etc.
When you want to know if you reduce the ultra processing, if it impacts the taste, right?
Yeah, exactly. So how do you take into account consumer preferences?
No, we don't take it into account to assess food. It's just about science. Is it raw? Is it low processed, or ultra processed? We do not take into account taste. But what we'll know is that you should eat real food to get the real taste. And these are better food for your health too.
Thanks.
Okay, great. And a question from Rodrigo. If you could introduce yourself to the audience, thank you.
Sure, Rodrigo Sepulveda. How big is the opportunity in terms of revenue, profitability the next 3 to 5 years?
In Europe, we estimate that the market could be up to €3 billion. How we calculated it, we separate the market according to the size of the companies. There are more than 350,000 food companies in Europe. 80% of them are in 5 countries, the largest ones. And we invoice them to access the platform to improve their offer or to use the label according to their size, and bring us to a market estimated at $3 billion.
So my question was, how much money do you expect to make in this market
in the
next 5 years?
In the 5 coming years, Without going abroad, we expect to do 7 million euro by 2026. You should know that when we began, we were only 3 people in France and maybe 10 in Europe to use the term of ultra-processed food, and now it is in the media every day.
Fantastic. Rodrigo says, show me the money. Absolutely. You know, this is what it's all about. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for Aris Christodoulou from SIGA. Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Okay, now believe it or not, I actually counted wrong earlier. You know, my bad. And this is our final one. We have reached the grand finale right now. Joining us all the way from the United Kingdom is Zeg.ai. They are a 3D virtual photography for e-commerce. So there's no need to ship products from the studio. Shoot from the desktop. Ladies and gents, it's the last pitch of this session. Give a huge round of applause to the CEO of Zeg.ai, Tushar Sharma.
Hi everyone, we are super excited to show you what we have built. So if you imagine through the eyes of Shopify, Etsy, or Amazon sellers, they need to ship the product to a studio, they need to ship props to a studio, and they need to spend more than 500 euros just to get a handful of product photos. So what we have built is a completely virtual solution. You can imagine deep fakes for products rather than deep fakes for human faces. So the way this works is, if the video works, yeah, it works. The way it works is you take a photo from a smartphone camera, you upload it on a virtual desktop, and it converts that into a 3D model instantly. And it looks exactly looks like what it looks like in the real world. And within few minutes, you can build a completely virtual world if you want to, or you could use templates just like you use on Canva, and click render to get really stunning imagery. So what's happening here is that we are clicking render in a pub scene, and this is a project for a client. And then you download the photograph from the desktop. And that's the kind of imagery you're able to generate instantly. So no camera required, no expensive lighting setup required. This is, again, the quality of imagery that has been generated directly through the desktop. In terms of the market opportunity, we are focused on consumer goods right now, which think about cosmetics and such products. So there are millions of cosmetic products. Even if we capture a small part of it, it is a sizable opportunity for this thing. This is our go-to-market. Right now, our anchor client is eBay, and we are generating 1,000 images per month for them. And the idea is to take this from 1,000 to 20,000 images per month. Plus, we have organic traction through Instagram and other such places. In terms of competition, there are just 2 things to imagine, like it's price and time. So there are multiple ways of generating fake imagery, but all of them would be very manually intensive. So you can imagine Hollywood CGI method, which will require an expert on a very expensive software. Or you could imagine something else, but there is a lot of back-end work involved. So the only negative side on our side is that we only focus on consumer goods right now, but in the future, we want to build anything and everything on e-commerce. This is the traction so far. This is right now, it's being fueled mostly by eBay right now, and the idea is to just keep on creating more images per month, build out the capacity of a SaaS solution. We have also sold 2 APIs, which is like, this will be used inside a web of like different companies to use our software to provide virtual shopping experiences and things like that. In terms of the team, we have 3 different kinds of people: geometry, CGI, deep learning, all coming together to build the product that we are doing. We have publications across CVPR and such notable publications. Recently, we had Mark Cuban as an investor in the company, and that's pretty much it. Thank you so much.
That's a great way to finish up. Thank you so much. Look at that, brilliant. Tushar Sharma, great presentation, rocking the branded clothes as well. A very impressive presentation. Do we have any questions from our VIP jurors? Did I see a hand go up there? Yes, if you could. Introduce yourself again to our folks who are streaming in on demand. Thank you.
Hi, Selma from 360 Capital. I just had a question on the inputs data that you put into your platform. What type of images do you need? Do you need a certain quality? And where do they come from exactly from the consumer goods?
Yeah, so it's just a smartphone photo, and the product needs to be vertical. It should not be in a crowded environment, and that's the only requirement we have. So it can be in a very poor lighting as well, and we will be able to convert into a 3D model.
So the technology that you have is really to change any image, mediocre quality, into a really interesting photo in 3D.
Yeah, as you can see, we are developing shoes now, but we are going from like 1 or 3 images to a complete 3D model, which is indistinguishable from reality.
Thank you.
Okay, fabulous. That was sort of 2 questions there, so we're going to keep it moving on. Ladies and gents, give it up for Tushar Sharma, CEO of Zeg.ai. Yes.